So yesterday was the Three Rivers Art Festival in Covington, Louisiana. And we went and we found a lot, like so much cool stuff that I thought it'd be really cool to do to do a artist haul video of things made by artists, made by small businesses, made by small makers. That's what we're going to do today. The setup's a little weird because some of these things are really big things. Some of these are things we have been talking about over several festivals and finally committed to buying them. And also some of these things are gifts for other people. Our house is full of art. Like, we have been doing anime cons and comic cons and festivals and fairs for almost 15 years now, whether we go for fun or whether we go to sell. So our house is full of our art, other people's art, friends' art, original art, prints. So part of the problem with that is we look at our house and we're like, well, we don't necessarily need more stuff. And that's where, because I think a lot of people who watch my channel, a lot of people who like myself, y'all are probably very similar. You'll probably already have art in your home. You already have books in your home. And while I am a more is more, maximalist kind of girly, I also want to remind you guys that Handmade makes a wonderful gift, and Etsy isn't the only place that you can buy things that are handmade. Not to dismiss Etsy, although Etsy has started allowing drop shippers in, and that causes a lot of problems, and that's a different video, and that's why I'm not on Etsy. Etsy is not the end-all be-all, and when I talk to people who like artsy things but are not artists themselves, a lot of them, Etsy is the only place they think to check. So hopefully today will encourage you to go out to explore your own local art fairs, craft fairs, that sort of thing, especially as we're entering the Christmas season and there are going to be Christmas fairs, but also to encourage you guys to please support makers, to support crafters, to support artists, please. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more, but I want to show you guys what we found at Three Rivers first. So I don't have any footage of Three Rivers. It was very cool. There were so many people there. There were so many vendors there. Foot traffic was really tight. It would have been a hard event to record anyway, but I'm gonna try to set the stage. So we parked about a block, maybe 2 blocks away, and we walked over. This takes place across one really long road, and then there's a bunch of cross streets. So basically, it's like 3 or 4 blocks of downtown Covington. And this is the part of Covington that has the Moe's Art Supply. We went there too. They also have all the art galleries and they have a lot of restaurants. So kind of like the happening part of Covington, I would guess. Covington is about an hour away from where I live. It's on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain. We live on the south shore of Lake Pontchartrain. And people who live on the south shore often act like there's no reason to go over to the north shore and vice versa. Same thing with the east and the west bank of the river. For some reason, bodies of water stop us. Maybe we're all vampires. Anyway, it is a show that historically happens on the same weekend as Destrehan Fall Fest. And historically, I have been at Destrehan Fall Fest instead of Three Rivers. So this was our first chance to go and enjoy it. We decided to go on a Saturday because in Louisiana, festivals, Saturday is usually the big day. Everybody's there. It's the best gauge of how much money you could make selling at a show and how many people might be at a show. Often we end up going on Sundays to shows because my family has a long-standing Saturday engagement, but my brother came with us and we all had a really good time. Everybody was set up in tents. They provide their own tents. There were ceramicists, there were painters, there were illustrators, there were people who made birdhouses and woodworkers and electricians and welders. I mean, all kinds of artists. It was really cool. So we have talked about submitting for Three Rivers before. It is a juried process and we haven't yet. I actually could not tell you how they would feel about my art in particular. Maybe we'll find out this year, but it's definitely an event. It's definitely a festival that I would be very interested in attempting. Especially because since moving down to Louisiana, I just feel like so totally not part of the art world, the maker world, and not from lack of trying. So anything that can help me get back into community with my people seems like it would be a really cool thing. So it was free to get in, and you just walk it. So that makes it not particularly handicap accessible, although I did see a lot of people with strollers, with scooters, like the knee scooters that you scoot on, with walking canes, but it's still not a super handicap accessible event in that regard. So if you're thinking about going, that is something to keep in mind. I was having a high ADHD and high Sjogren's day yesterday, so I was like fritzing out all over the place. I was very overstimulated. This is another reason I didn't get any video. Anyway, it seemed really cool. Everybody's booths were very professionally set up. One thing I noticed, Joseph had a differing experience than me. I tended to notice the booths that had big art, big displays that catch your eye from a distance. He pointed out though that like I bought from an earring booth. So, you know, there were people who were vending smaller things and were being able to sell in enough volume to make it worth their while. Now, when it comes to doing shows, and I meant for this to be mostly a haul and not really talking business talk, and the artist in me, the vendor in me, I always slip into that, okay? With these kind of smaller items, you do need to sell in quantity to make up for the booth cost, which can be anywhere from $300 and up for these kind of events. I don't know off the top of my head how much Three Rivers cost. There was live music, but it was not overwhelming. It was kind of contained to stages. It wasn't like on Dewey Fest where it was so pervasively loud that I couldn't carry on conversations with people. And food wasn't necessarily intermixed in between the tents, like a lot of the Louisiana festivals I've done. There were food sections and there were restaurants participating. So here on the table, I've got some of the things that we purchased, and then we've got a big something. And spoiler, we actually went to 2 shows this weekend because we weren't working any of them. We went to Covington, and then we went to Destrehan Fall Fest, which is the show that historically I have done because it's local to me, that occurs on the same weekend. And I am going to show you what I got at both shows. So I know my family, for the most part, does not watch my videos, so this shouldn't be spoilers. We found presents for some people, and we also just found some things for ourselves. I'm not gonna say, unless it is for me, I'm not gonna say what anything is for anybody. So this is not gonna be in any particular order because I don't have a lot of space. I'm gonna have to get up and show you guys stuff. Okay, so to start with, there were several woodworkers at the event, which I love to see because when I do festivals, often I see a lot of the people who are selling the tumblers, the coasters, the t-shirts that have dye sublimation, often with stolen or other people's art on it. You know, you see that at the farmer's market, and you see that at Destrehan Fall Fest. You see it a lot, and like that gets kind of boring for me. It also gets kind of heartbreaking for me as an artist who draws her own stuff. So woodworkers, very cool. Love practical handmade items. Love being able to support those kind of small businesses, whether they earn enough to pay all their bills with it, or it's something they do on the weekends, or it's just something they really love. I really love being able to buy from people who are really passionate about what they do and are knowledgeable about their materials. And we purchased a couple of roux spoons from WoodDoc, and I'm gonna, when I can, I will put people's names down if you guys are curious. And a lot of them do have websites, some of them don't, some of them do. So the tag on the roux spoon says it's a Southern cook's dream. It was created with a long handle and flat thin edges to get where the bits and pieces can stick and burn. Made from locally sourced wood from Louisiana. Also very cool. These are both pecan wood. I forgot what it's called when you get this kind of like black striping in wood. They are all a little bit different because they're a handmade thing that he carved. And the one I'm keeping for myself is got like a good scoopy thing. So I thought, I love to cook where I make a fond in the pan and then scrape that up and make that into a sauce. And I thought this would be perfect for that. So and it's all been seasoned with tongue-wood, so it should be food safe. So I thought that was really cool. We got one to keep and one to give to a friend, because I really love when I can giving handmade goods to people. It's just cool to support small businesses and to give a really thoughtful gift to another person. So we have this welded kitty cat here on the table. This is a gift for Bowie, our cat. This guy is so cute. Look at him. Kind of hard to see. He's a plant holder, and he is going to hold Bowie's cat mint that he already has, that he likes to help himself to. And the problem with the cat mint is he can easily tug it along the floor, knock it over. We find it knocked over all the time. We were kind of hoping this might provide enough weight and resistance and also make it easier for him to graze on. So this little cutie here is for Bowie, our cat, and also for us, but he's a heavy little guy as well. We definitely bought some art. It might be kind of hard to show you guys because these are kind of small. We bought I bought some birthday cards. They're flower birthday cards, and they have kind of a pearlescent print. So I got a couple of those to hold on to, but also the woman who was doing these and these are artists from all over the place. This woman was from Texas. We bought from people who'd come from Asheville. We bought from people who'd come from Mississippi. We bought from Louisiana people. So like, we weren't just buying from like, you know, one set. Okay, so the Texas lady has these, and she didn't put a card. Why did you not put a, I think I have a photo of her sign, but I actually don't remember. It's kind of a shame that she didn't put a card. Anyway, she had these really cute letter tiles. These have been printed, probably printed at home, onto, it looks like either mixed media paper or watercolor paper. And she has lots of different flowers, and they're letter tiles. So we bought Bowie and we bought Basil to put up, because we don't have human children. Oh, Joseph found it. Her name is Angie Spears, artwork by Angie, and she's from Houston. And I will put that, thank you, Joseph. I'll put that in the description. Her florals are just gorgeous. She seemed really nice. I loved the booth. I loved the aesthetic. I wish I could show you guys pictures. But, you know, from a fellow watercolor. Okay, so here's something I hear other artists and makers say. I don't need to buy art because I could just make it myself. I hate that idea so much. It needs to die. I hate it. I hate it. I love being inspired by other artists. I love buying from other artists. I love buying from artists who do the same thing I do. We collect mini comics and zines. I collect floral art. I commission my friends to draw my pets. Like, I love buying art from other artists whose brains work like mine do. I don't love the mindset of, why would I pay for that? I could just make that. You're paying for it because you value somebody else's time and expertise, and you have respect for their craft, and because you need to buy a Christmas or you want to give someone a present. You don't have to buy them a present. You want to, and you are using the money that you have to support the ecosystem that you're part of. I don't understand why this has to be explained. I mean, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money, and I'm all for making Christmas presents when, you know, like I painted a Funko for my nephew last year because I wanted to make a custom Funko for him. Like, there's reasons to do it, but, you know, I would never use that as a reason not to buy from another artist. I hate it. It makes my skin crawl. And to be fair, I came up among comic artists, right? I'm a comic artist. I went to comic art school. I grew up doing Comic Cons, and that attitude is not that's like antithetical to the Comic Con vibe. So, like, of course I don't like that idea. So that's where I'm coming from. But like, if you're hanging out with me, you must like some of what I have to say sometimes. And if there's two things that I can leave you with today, it's, even if you're an artist, even if you're a maker, even if, yes, you could make it yourself, please buy from other artists, support other artists. Why do you think people should buy from you if you're not willing to buy from them. And also, artists and makers and crafters are small businesses who are deserving of your support, and they will reinvest that money not only back into their own business, but locally as well. We're gonna talk about this more, but I see people already talking about doing a no buy or low buy. And you know, I agree with that. Let's not buy from Walmart. Let's try not to buy from Amazon, but like, let's still support local businesses, local restaurants, and local artists and makers. Let's brag about it. And that's kind of why I'm doing a haul here. Let's brag about supporting other individuals who are making and doing cool things instead of just like giving up and despairing. Okay, so speaking of cool things, some of these are wrapped. So some of these, I know what it is, but I'm not sure which one's which, if that makes sense. So this is from the Fire and Spirit. They are from Lexington, Virginia. So they came quite a way. They are a ceramicist. This one has the price tag. So I'm gonna put my finger over the price tag. And they had all of these really cool ceramic sea life. They had jellyfish and seahorses and a lot of really cool ones. This is for somebody. So neither Joseph or I, they had like these really cool, like they had like a barracuda and a gar. If we were buying for us, we both like those a lot. But this is a gift for somebody, and a dolphin seems like a good pick for them. They had some frog stuff, and I loved it, but they didn't have enough frog stuff, and it was also like urns. And I don't currently have a use for an urn, so it was harder to kind of talk myself into. If they'd had like frog wall hanging stuff though, we probably would have come home with a frog for us. But we came home with a dolphin for somebody else, and it's beautifully glazed. We also brought our own tote bags to the show. A couple of the new designs that are going to be in the Natto shop. So my designs, the frog and mushroom, and then the mushrooms. And we ran out of space in those quickly. So we were trying not to take too many bags from people and try to cut down on the waste. We ended up buying so much stuff, but we also ended up kind of double decorating things into bags too. So that's why you saw me just pull out a bunch of disparate things. So there were two birdhouse woodworkers, and we did buy from one, and I regret not buying from the other. This one is a gift for somebody. It's very cute. This is so that person. They're gonna really love this. It has a golf club as the perch, and it's really heavy and solid, and it's made from reclaimed materials. It is really cool. The one, and I wish I could show you guys, the ones I would have liked for us, they made like little Gentilly style houses and like snowball shacks, and like they had a huge big pie store. It was so cute. It was so cute. But he's a New Orleans guy, so we're probably gonna see him around. And the reason we didn't buy from him is like we're trying real hard not to buy stuff for us. So like we took our birdhouses down during Hurricane Francine, and we haven't put one of them back up. So like the agreement was like, well, we shouldn't buy ourselves another birdhouse until we get those back up. So like if I see him at another show, I'm definitely gonna get like the snowball shacks. Were so cute. Probably gonna get one of those because we have like a really cute, the birdhouse we have in the front yard we bought that at Destrehan Fall Fest a couple years ago, and it's meant to look like an Acadian cottage. It's so cute. And then the birdhouse we have in the backyard is also handmade, but it was something we had ordered specifically to replace an existing birdhouse. And then Joseph had to stain it and modify it. Anyway, we like birds, we like birdhouses, and we like buying handmade. But this one is a gift. I think the person who this is for, it is so heavy, is really gonna enjoy it. And part of the gift is that Joseph is gonna put it up for that person to help them out too. Because we like to give solutions, not problems. This is so cute. So this is from the same person who did the cat. Hopefully there's a card in here so I can tell you how much it costs, but nope. Oh yes, okay, yes. Okay, there's a card. Thank goodness. All right. So I cannot tell you who the birdhouse is by because I don't think they left a card. The cat and this guy that I'm about to show you is made by yardbirds.info, his Junkyard Birds and Cats, and it was made in Kentucky. Oh, cool. They have a Kentucky crafted logo. Louisiana. I know y'all have like a certified Cajun logo, but like we need to take care of our makers too, you know? Okay, this guy's so cute. This one's for us. He's a little, he's so cute. He is a little parachuting frog, and he's so cute. I can't get over it. He was our favorite. Anyway, because we were shopping, Joseph and I were shopping together. Anyway, he's so cute, and he's made of like one of those like ceramic handles, and his little face, y'all can't see. I'm gonna try to, like, I'm kind of boxed in right now. When I get up to show you guys the big thing, I will try. He just makes me laugh. He's so goofy. I love him. I'll try to show you guys his face better. He's so cute. And then another thing from that bag, and this is by Emma Fick, F-I-C-K, Emma Fick Art. These are so cute. These are acrylic okra earrings. These are for me because I collect acrylic earrings and they're lighter weight so they don't tug on my ears and I don't have an allergic reaction to them, so I can wear them all day and it's not a problem. They're so cute. They are the cut okra, and she put the beads in her, like she hand placed the, we were talking to her, she's really nice. They are so cute. She has a bunch of really cute stuff. I'm definitely going, she has these acorn earrings that I'm definitely going to be requesting for my birthday, so I should set that aside. But anyway, they are really, I'm gonna keep repeating myself because they're really cute. Everything we got is really cute. And like, that's part of the charm of handmade stuff. You're not gonna find like 1,000 of them unless people are copying those people. And it gives people a chance to like really express their identity and to find people who like what they like. And that's such a, I love it. I love when people buy from me and we like resonate on the same frequency of like cute girls, frogs, and mushrooms. And I love buying from people when we resonate on the same frequency of like, okra's really cool and it's related to the hibiscus and the flowers are really pretty. And it's just, it's a cool sort of environment to be in. So the last bag I have from the Three Rivers Fest, and I have a big thing that I'm gonna have to go get, but the last bag I have is actually from Moe's Art Supply. So this is a local supply chain. You guys hear me talk about David's Art Supply a lot. David's owns my heart, but Moe's is like, there's one in New Orleans in a converted church. That one's gorgeous. There's one in Baton Rouge in a house, and I don't love the new location. They just don't have the selection they used to. And then there's one in Covington, and the one in Covington is also really nice. So we went to the one in Covington, and I didn't get too much, but I did get a large Niji or Yasutomo Wafude brush. Oh, okay, this is actually not from those. That's good. I got a, I wonder how many of these are not actually from Moe's. I think these two are not. We were kind of trying to conserve bags by putting things into other bags, right? These are beautiful letterpress cards. These are made by Blackbird Letterpress, and they might both be made from Blackbird Letterpress. No, and Elise Lassonde for Blackbird Letterpress, and they are so beautiful. So that's another thing. If you want to buy handmade, if you want to buy local, and you don't have a lot of money, cards. Cards are such a good, inexpensive way to buy beautiful art and to be able to give a little bit of art all the time and make somebody's day. And I mean, some people go down to Dollar Tree and pick up their cards and only pay $1. I get that. Some people go to Walmart and pay up to $10 for a card. Like some of those Hallmark cards, and I bought them myself, are really expensive. And these were each $6 for the Lunar Moth, which it's letterpress. Somebody letterpressed this, and $7 for this. This one's really cool. This is one that you assemble. Love it. And like, I spent a lot of time in undergrad doing printmaking. I technically have 2 minors. I have a minor in Earth Environmental Science and I have a minor in printmaking. I spent a lot of time in printmaking. So I have huge love for printmaking, and I never got to do letterpress because our department had sold off our letterpress equipment, but I have done intaglio, I've done embossment, I have done copperplate, I have done linoleum. I love traditional printmaking, and I love traditionally print, like, yes, it is technically a print, but someone's hand, someone's labor, somebody's love was every step of the process in traditional printmaking. So these are really cute. And I know that Moe's was selling them, but they purchased them from this other business to sell, from this other small business to sell. And then, and this is the naughty part. Okay, so I bought these. I bought 4 of these. They are mini paint sets. I actually have one similar to this. It's in purple. It's really cute, and I replaced the terrible garbagey paints inside and put nice paints in for me as like a little mini travel palette, because these are actually, you know, pretty decently appointed for a little keychain watercolor palette. It's enamel at the top, plastic at the bottom, so your mixing surface is enamel. That brush can go, that brush is trash. And it's easy to pry out the paints, and you can just do like a little dab. And these make a really fun gift after you've done that for like a fellow watercolor artist. So I picked up a few to gut and send. And part of the reason is they are like $4.99 at Moe's, and I was pricing them on AliExpress for a similar mini palette, and they want $8 each for these. Because I had a thought at one point in time, don't get excited because I'm not gonna do it. At one point in time, I had considered buying these, gutting these, and offering them in the Natto shop as like part of a kit, because like they're so retro and they're so cute. But you know, I just don't see enough sales in the Natto shop to justify chasing down a bulk vendor for these and to justify that labor. I just don't see hardly any sales. So I'm just going to do 4 of these and send them off. This one's lid came off and I got distracted with the ADHD. Send them to friends. And they even have like the keychain hole already on there, so you can just put it on a keychain, and they're really cute. So that is not a handmade something, but it will become a handmade something. And I've been actually trying to source them for several years now, like source where I could buy like 25 of them at a reasonable price. And I never could find a price point that I liked. So this is not from Moe's. This is from a different ceramicist, from Ghada, Henagan, Ghada, ceramics. These were made in Baton Rouge. You know what? Y'all hear that clock all the time. That's another excellent story. It kind of gets on my nerves because it interrupts recording, so I will edit it out, but not this time. That is a cuckoo clock that we bought from a small local business in Metairie that imports handmade cuckoo clocks from Germany. So when you hear it, we bought local for that. Anyway, her site is GHADAHENAGAN ceramics.com, and I'll try to have all of these in the description for you guys in case you guys are curious and to help support other small businesses. And she was smart. She actually put a bunch of her cards in there. She put dishwashing information, which I really appreciate. But look at this beautiful bee mug. So for some of these things, because they were a little pricey, Joseph and I would be like, okay, we're gonna buy one, and then we would try to like find the one we both like, right? So that's a way when you're buying expensive handmade things, you can kind of justify it as if it's something you're gonna share. Now, when it comes to mugs, we use a lot of mugs. Most of our mugs we have bought from potters, or our handmade mugs, or we've bought at like in North Carolina in Oh snap, I forgot the name of the small town we went to. Anyway, we went to see their artist co-op, and it was really, really cool, and they were super nice there, and we bought some mugs there too, right? Like that kind of thing. So these are often like a souvenir of a trip, but also, and then the bottom, she did the bottom too. Murphy, North Carolina. Thank you. Yeah. Their artist co-op was really cool. I haven't had the heart to check and see how they did after Helene. We also got, I love it, okay? Look, she makes magnets. They're so cute, right? And it's just a cute little bee. And what I like about magnets is that they're not super expensive, so you can have a little bit of art. You can give a little bit of art if you want to, and you can put it on your fridge, and it's functional. Like, you can use it, so it makes it easier to justify having this thing because it's in use. So, I love them both, but I might love the magnet a little bit more. I don't know, I love them both. It's hard to decide, they're both so precious. Okay, so I have one more thing from the Three Rivers that I want to show you guys. And it's a big thing, and it's kind of, I'm not super sure how I want to set up the camera for this. So, while I can, I will show you guys our parachuting frog. Look at him, is he not? It's so hard to get a good, like, he's so cute. His face, his eyes, he's so cute. I love him so much. He makes me laugh. I love him. And then this is the bee mug. You guys can see it a little better. It's beautiful. The glazing on the inside's gorgeous. I love bees. I love pollinators. Although I'm afraid of butterflies. And look at the magnet. The magnet is so cute. I know it's a little hard to see. And then since I'm standing up, here are the earrings. And they're nice and light. She had longer ochre ones too, but my neck just ain't that long, y'all. And I don't wear... My neck just ain't that long, y'all. I think this is a much better fit. In fact, these earrings that I'm wearing, I bought a while back at a small business on Magazine Street, so, you know, expensive and fancy. And these are handmade too, but they were brought in by the shop. So they weren't made by the shop, but they had purchased the earrings wholesale to sell. As another way you can help small artists is you can buy at shops that actually buy from artists and then resell it, because they're still getting that money. So you can either buy directly from the artist, or you can buy from a shop that supports artists. Okay, this is the piece de resistance from Three Rivers. So this is handmade stained glass. We have seen, I don't know if I have his card even. We've seen him at like 3 or 4 different shows and have talked about buying one of his stained glass pieces for a while. And we both love irises, and we have this big long window. So we're going to hang this gorgeous iris in this big long window. We're gonna move my art somewhere else. I'm not sure where we're gonna put the air plant. Maybe we'll make them coexist, but this is like, and we spent a lot. It was $650. It was not cheap. But it is gorgeous. It is handmade. Working with glass, working with solder, there are a lot of health and toxicity issues. It's gorgeous. There's craftsmanship, there's years. This was an older gentleman, like 70, 80 years old. There's craftsmanship that you are paying for when you're buying handmade art. So, you know, it's not going to be the cheapest thing. It's not going to be the most budget option of budget options. That's not the point. They're not supposed to compete with Walmart or Home Depot or Hobby Lobby, or that's not what they're trying to do. And it's unfair to compare them, because this is some person's individual livelihood, or maybe their entire family's livelihood. A lot of people get their families to help them, and if they can afford to, pay their families to help them. So it isn't just about buying this mass-produced, mass-manufactured thing at the cheapest price possible. I understand that there are people who need to do that. That is their choice. I'm not dunking on that, but as somebody who's often on the other side of the vendor's table, I do hear the like, well, I could get it cheaper at Walmart, or I could get it cheaper at Hobby Lobby, or I could just make it myself and do it cheaper. And the last one's a lie, as you will find out when you go buy those materials. You to make one thing is not gonna be cheaper with your time, with your money, with your sanity than just buying it there from that person. The other two, yeah, of course it's true. They are selling to thousands of locations. They're selling to hundreds of thousands of people. They have something called economy of scale, and a lot of those products are not manufactured in the US, so they're being imported to then be sold. So it is unfair to compare something that was made in New Orleans and then sold in Covington, where you're not consuming, the transportation costs are not there. It wasn't brought by rail. It was probably brought in his truck. You are not paying to fly it. You're not paying to store it long term. Like, the economy of scale and the impact on the local environment is different, and it's just so much more sustainable for our planet and for artists and for us as human beings who need to connect with other human beings if we can work buying handmade and supporting local into our daily lives. So I really regret that I have zero footage of Three Rivers because it was really cool. We had a lot of fun. It's something we're definitely going to want to do again, and it's something that I would encourage people to do. Now I'm going to, I'm so bad at transitions. I'm recording all this on Sunday, and then I'm gonna edit this, and I'm just really bad at transitions because that element of surprise is not there. I am not that great of an actress. I put my skill points into watercolor and comics, and it is what it is. So anyway, let us talk about the Destrehan Fall Fest, which I do have footage for. I found the business card for the birdhouse, and it is WingDingConstructions, and it is Birdhouse Guy to-do list. Buy a birdhouse. I actually don't see a website, and it does have his a phone number on there, so I will just put his name, like his business name, down in the description for you guys. So today, Joseph and I are going to the Destrehan Fall Fest. This is a show that I used to table at historically, but like it is today, historically it has been gray, rainy, often cold. It's actually rather mild today, and I would get sick every year. And as someone with Sjogren's, I said I can't do that, but we're still gonna go and support local makers, crafters, and creators. I'm gonna share some of that with you. I didn't share yesterday's trip. Where did we go yesterday?
The Three Rivers Covington Art Festival.
Yes. And what did you think of it?
I thought it was pretty awesome, much better than Destrehan Fall
It was
Fest.
really cool. I wish I had footage of that, but my brother came with me. I was having a high ADHD, high Sjogren's day, and it was so many people that it would have been really hard to get good video anyway. So I don't have any footage of that festival, but that is a festival I would definitely be honored to even just be considered to participate in, because would you say that the artists brought their A game?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
everybody's work
super
was
professional.
Yeah, consistently really good, and all kinds of artists, including cartoony artists, although I didn't see any comic artists, so that might be my in for next year. But it didn't seem like, unlike Taka, which historically has a prejudice against illustrative art, against watercolor art, basically their explanation was you have to make the materials that you use to make what you're making, which I'm not going to get into. They've changed their rules since, so it doesn't matter anyway. But that's been my experience with fine art festivals. This one seems more open to just like general artists who can execute at a high degree of skill. So that's an exciting thing for me. I wish I had footage from that because it was a really cool festival.
I'm sure they're...
Oh yeah, there's footage
YouTube.
online. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish I had some to include in this video.
Sure.
So we're gonna go to the Destrehan Fall Fest. I will get some footage of that, and then if we buy anything at Fall Fest, I'll show that with you guys too, because I really want all of us to think about buying locally, hyper locally, small business, small creators this year. Like, let's really turn our sights and our attention to supporting individual humans who are doing things and making things this year, right? I think that's a cool goal we can all get behind. you did not join me for the whole part of the Covington Three Rivers Festival. What was your favorite thing that we bought there? It was all handmade things.
Stained glass iris window. I mean, we were considering getting that for
We have talked
2+
about
years,
that
so.
multiple shows. Like we've gone to several shows in the area because this is the thing we enjoy doing, and we'll see the stained glass guy, and we will talk about buying one of his windows.
Neither of us even remember why we didn't buy it in the past, so it was an easy purchase.
By the time we decided at the Christmas market that we wanted it, he had broken down for the evening.
Sure.
We had taken two. So we snatched it this time. Not snatched it, but bought it. That is super cool. I do really like that. I kind of feel like, not counting that, because it is really cool, the okra earrings I got they're really cute. They're unusual. They're really charming. They're very Louisiana without being like, hey y'all, where you at? Kind of Louisiana. Like they're like subtle Louisiana. So those are really cool. And also she was super nice. So that's another nice thing about doing these kind of things is you get to meet people. You get to meet cool people who make things. So whether we're at a show and we're selling ourselves, or not literally selling ourselves, but selling, or we're at a show supporting other artists and buying Christmas presents. We've got a bunch of Christmas presents. We just really enjoy doing this, and this is something that we both just do for fun, because Louisiana is the land of festivals, and they all seem to be in March and October. So we'll see you guys at the Fall Fest. This is really sad. This is a show we did for years. I have video of us doing this show and walking around, and I'll try to splice some of that in. Nobody's here, and everybody's leaving early. Okay. What was your opinion of the Destrehan Fall Fest this year?
I don't have much of an opinion because we saw less than a quarter of the show.
And why did we see less than a quarter of the show?
Because I guess one person decided it was time to leave, and then everyone else decided. One vendor decided it was time to leave, and then everyone else decided.
Everybody gets spooked.
Yeah.
So they had rain last night. We live in this area, so we know they had rain. And that kind of scared people off. And then they either didn't come back this morning or they started packing up this morning. And we've been talking to vendors, and I feel, because we used to do this show up until this year, and last year I got spooked. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't be in the weather. I can't do it anymore. So we decided not to do it this year. So part of me feels like I dodged a bullet, but also part of me feels kind of conflicted, because every year we did it, all 3 years prior, it rained the whole weekend also. And y'all know we're paper artists. I paint and do books, and Joseph is just handsome and charming.
Naturally.
He brings the riz to the conversation. We've done it and we toughed it out, but it was kind of miserable for us. So I can respect paper artists and people who are working in things that degrade in water being like, yeah, I can't do this. Because you're out there intense in the weather. They don't put plastic down. They don't have you on pavement. So if there is moisture in the ground, your tent is going to suck it up.
Yeah. And it's not raining, and it really hasn't rained, I don't think, for several hours.
It's been a little drizzly, but not.
It honestly probably hasn't rained during active show hours, but it did rain probably when people were setting back up, essentially.
That's enough to scare people. And there's just nobody here. The foot traffic there's nobody here. I've never seen this show this dead. Even the first year after they lifted COVID restrictions, I've never seen this show this dead. So I don't know.
On the Saturday between 10 and 11, it's often this dead, because people will rush to get in, and then
walk around with
I don't even know
face,
sure,
and I can make that going on. Anyway, this wasn't meant to be a show critique. It just baffled me how much it can change, and that really can affect individual vendors, small businesses. These kind of changes. This could be the difference between a $1,000 weekend and a $200 weekend. And this show, unless they've cranked up the prices, it's $250 just for your spot. You bring your tent, you bring everything. So I don't know how they can justify $250 with the foot traffic that they had today.
in the past.
They made it sound like this was going to be the biggest and best
show. I know. That's kind of why I'm like, what happened?
And there's like only a quarter of the booth set up with several hours
to be
left
mad at
show.
myself for not doing this week. Like a part of me feeling FOMO and feeling mad that I didn't do it. And instead I just feel like bad for the vendors that we're like friendly with. Because Nerd Brew, the coffee people, they always do way better than me. Like they sell coffee. Come on.
Pretty steady business.
They always do way better than me. And
loyal customers.
They were having a bad weekend this weekend too. So that ish, I don't know, because we were at Three Rivers yesterday and everybody was at Three Rivers. But Three Rivers is not like this. I don't know if you guys saw, there was like knockoff Disney stuff. Just treat other people's art like they own it. And that's allowed here. They don't actually crack down on it, which is disappointing as somebody who makes their own stuff. Three Rivers, I didn't see any of that. So I mean, not that this is meant to be like a show breakdown or anything, but that kind of points me in the direction that I want to be moving in.
Three Rivers is more about art appreciation.
Yeah, and protecting makers.
This is about just like
making stuff,
socialization,
which is good, important. Yeah, there's a music stage, but there were music stages at Three Rivers.
Yeah.
There's food here. Three Rivers might have had more food. Actually, the food was spread out.
I think,
and it was a lot of restaurants participating.
So.
Like doing discounts
the restaurants,
and stuff.
Three Rivers definitely.
Yeah, and Destrehan Fall Fest is like at Destrehan Plantation, which already has some like connotations. That's another reason I'm not doing it anymore. And it's also kind of on the outskirts of town anyway, so like you're not going to just like pass it or happen by it. You have to be going to it. So we did find some cool stuff. I'm just a little disappointed. I thought one of our friends who normally tables at this show too, I thought they were going to be here. They very well might have jetted because they have prints and they have cards and they have stickers, and this is not good weather for them. They curl and then you can't sell them.
Everyone was packing up around them. It looks kind of bad to be one tent in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad on you, but like it's not a selling point. Anyway, it just boggled me. And like I'm also kind of on a one-woman movement to make St. Charles Parish, where this event takes place, where we live, have more arts economic options. So to see one of the like 4 art economic options dying is concerning too.
It's a little presumptuous to assume that the show's dying just because people pack up early on.
That's not the only reason I think that. So, but I have ADHD and my brain hasn't yet put together like the puzzle pieces of like boom, boom, boom. This is why. But like last year I got that vibe too. They did have, they had the porta potties last year, which I was like, I'm not selling at another show where the porta potties are broken and you can't wash your hands. This year they had the trailer, but it was just 2-seaters, which is wild. There was a men's and a women's, and
it was 4 or 6 previously,
right? Yeah, they had a men's trailer and a women's trailer last year. This year it's one trailer. It could be unisex bathrooms, and I'm a fan of unisex bathrooms and single seaters, but I don't think that's actually what they're doing.
Yep.
And they do have like a couple of unisex or family bathrooms here too in the Garçonniere. Last year that was broken as well, though. I don't know what the condition of the bathrooms were this year. We didn't stay long enough to know. But to me, if a show has non-functional, non-handicap accessible bathrooms, like you can't use the bathroom, that's a bad sign.
And it's of a comparable size. There's hundreds of vendors here.
Well, in years past, there were like 20 vendors this time. Not a great look. So I don't want it to die, but I think they need to take a hard look at how they organize things and where they're spending their money, and maybe figure out some ways to make a show like this more feasible for smaller vendors, or who like they may not have an entire tent worth of stuff, or paper art vendors, maybe having some of these out structures that they have fitted to have like 4 or 5 paper artists in them, so that our product isn't getting ruined in the rain. Just some of those kind of things might be just enough to fix bathrooms. Functional bathrooms might be enough to fix the problems. But like this weekend is always rainy. They could try to switch to a different weekend, because I know next weekend historically is sunny. because we always complain about like doing the rainy weekend and then it's beautiful the next weekend. So like if you've got 10 years of weather data, you could pick better. Anyway, it's not about that. It's not about that at all. Yeah, and I'm not pretending like I'm doing better at organizing shows, because I'm not. Organizing shows is really hard. The logistics is really hard. You're always going to tick people off. Like, you can't make everybody happy. I understand that, and I'm not pretending like I could do a better job. But they also don't come around and ask vendors what they think, and I do think that's a problem.
Surveys afterwards, right?
No, they don't, because I would have told them. And when they asked me if I was going to do the show again, I said no, and they never asked why I said no.
Sure.
And I think that's a bad sign as well. Yeah. Because I actually have years of video that I could send them to show them what I'm talking about, and I have feedback. I think partnering with the high schools, because a lot of those kids are artists or they like to make things, and offering like a school tent or something like that would be I love supporting young artists. That would be an interesting way to go too. But it's not, they're not interested in asking, so, you know, or not asking me. They may have asked more popular vendors, right? So I don't know. I hope we can figure it out. They can figure it out. Anyway, I will show you guys the cool stuff that we did manage to find, even though we managed, how do I say this? Although many people had left, we still found a lot of cool stuff. Sure. And I'll show you that when I get home.
So y'all saw how few people were at the Destrehan Fall Fest. And I'm going to, or I already did, intersplice some footage from like when we tabled there and kind of what that looked like, just to get like give you guys some comparison of why I was like so surprised that there were so few people there this weekend, or this Sunday. So I wanted to show you guys what we did get. It's not as much, but we still did find some really cool things. And I want to be like really clear. We were looking for usable stuff, eatable stuff, and presents, basically. Also plant stuff. And that's also kind of a direction I'm trying to go with my own business, is more usable things, because I realize it is really hard to justify having art for art's sake. Like, I get it, your house gets full at a certain point. I understand that. So that's something I'm also like thinking about and trying to source ethically and working on. And we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But when we do shows, I have developed social anxiety. I used to be the person who would like go and make friends with everybody and organize the con dinners and that kind of thing. And then 2016 happened, and I haven't been quite the same person since. And it is what it is, but like my anxiety's been really high. So Joseph goes and makes friends and meets people. And one of the people he was looking for at this show is Cajun Corral Farm, because they have goats, and they have a farm with goats, and it is up on the North Shore, so it's kind of a drive for us, and all their stuff, because they hold events, is in the morning, which is hard when you have showrooms and you have pets to take care of before you go. But they're so nice. They're such nice people. And they were still set up. She was like, I'm gonna be here until the show closes. And they are doing a event in December that is goats and mushroom foraging, which sounds amazing. So hopefully I can get up there. But what they have for me is they have goat milk lotion, and they do have like scented goat milk lotions. I went with one that is like basically edible, because Basil, my pet rat, will try to eat lotion off my hands. So if I go get a massage, or even if I put like some CeraVe on, I have to wash it off before I handle them. So my hands are always wrecked because I have Sjogren's. So this, hopefully I can just leave this on my hands and not have to wash it off before handling Basil. So I'm kind of excited about not having dry, nasty, cracked hands. They also have, and these are unscented because scented things can sometimes ping my Sjogren's, avocado goat milk soap. So this, it's got honey in it too. And of course avocado, but it's all stuff that isn't going to like make my cat or my rat sick, because I love my babies. And that is Cajun Corral Farm, and you can find them at CajunCorral.com, and I will put that in the description below. I don't know if they ship, but you know, I'm all because I've only ever bought from them in person. And that brings up another point that we're going to talk about more. A lot of your favorite art, please don't wait till you see your favorite artist at a con. Cons are getting expensive. we're developing health issues. A lot of us have online shops. Please don't wait to buy from your favorite artist at a con, because you might never see them. Sorry, segue, but it does kind of, it's related. Anyway, I'm gonna save the plants for last, but we bought a present for a family member, and I don't think they watch my videos, but they might sometimes. I don't know. And this person will know this is for them as soon as they see it, because there's only one person this could be for. And then we also bought, and from the same people who did not put in a card, so I don't know actually. My husband might. If he ran it on the credit card, he might be able to pull that up. A trellis, because we have a Peggy Martin climbing rose, and it needs something to climb on, and I don't want it climbing on my other plants. So we bought a trellis. I think it's gonna look really cool when the Peggy Martin grows on it. I'm excited about that. And then we bought a couple of plants from a local nursery. Local as in it's in Luling. Local as in they used to donate the Christmas trees to the church I went to. Local as in it's like in old Luling, right? So local as in my middle school Louisiana history teacher used to sell, he was really into doing daylily breeding and hybridization in cultivars. He used to sell his cultivars to them, so very local. We bought some herbs because, oh, it smells so nice. It is a lemon lime mint, and I also bought some dill. Sorry, being a dork, because we're trying so hard to grow indoor plants, and we're not doing the best of it. I also bought a coffee from Nerd Brew Coffee. They're at a lot of the Louisiana nerdy events, and I drank it at the event because I needed a coffee. But they also make this really yummy, like chocolate bark, hot chocolate bark, and coffee bark. Like a lot of their products are highly caffeinated. So I have to be careful with their bark, because I like to just nom 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 on sweets, and you can't do that with that if you enjoy sleeping. So that is what we got, what we found at the Destrehan Fall Fest. A lot of people, as you guys saw, were already packing up due to the weather, so there just really wasn't much selection. And some of the people I saw who were left, it was a lot of the people I was just talking to you guys about, who will like take Disney images, like copyright images from Google image search, and then they will print it on tumblers and aprons, or they will use their embroidery machine and do the actual mouse ears. And as a convention artist, an anime con artist for many years, there is a saying, you don't mess with the mouse. You don't do Disney copyright stuff, because they are very litigious. They have no problem going after you. When I was a girl, my dad helped paint the nursery of the church that I went to. And originally they were gonna do Winnie the Pooh. And I don't know how someone at Disney found out about this in 1988, but they received a C&D to take it down, to take the mural in a church nursery down, it is their property to protect. I'm not gonna argue that. I think they ended up doing Looney Tunes characters on the nursery. You don't mess with the mouse. Most anime con artists will tell you, you don't mess with the mouse. So I do think it's a choice to do that, let's just say that. But you know, we are all broke. We are all working side hustles. We are all working multiple hustles, and I know Disney stuff will sell. It does break my heart as a vendor, and I wasn't vending at this show, but I have in the past. It does break my heart when I have all original characters, and I'm not dissing fan art, by the way. I'm just saying my booth is, I make comics for children set in Louisiana, about nature, about animals, about loving nature and animals. It does make me sad to see people like beeline for those vendors who are, it's not even their art, they didn't even draw it, they didn't even put that time in, they just printed it out onto a mug and now they're selling it. And not that that is not labor, but it is not as labor intensive. It breaks my heart that they will beeline for the recognized product that that person does not have the right to use, rather than like taking their time and checking out other people. But that might just be a personal problem on my part. I sure do hope though, and I've never narked on anybody. I have never reported anybody for doing this. I don't ever intend on it. But I sure do hope Disney does not catch wind of that, because that you're gonna have to find another business model than using somebody else's IP that they recognize. So that kind of brings up some other points that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. I was gonna be real slick. I was gonna like lure you guys in with like a haul video, because everybody loves a haul video, and then bait and switch you to an artist rant about supporting small businesses. But like, let's be real, I have not been subtle at all, not a single step of the way. I have telegraphed, I have the subtlety of a walrus. I have telegraphed all of my moves. You have, if you were going to click off, you have clicked off. And I'm sure I'm going to lose some of you guys now. And that's kind of a shame, because I think what I have to say is important and worth hearing. So instead of dilly-dallying and dancing around it, we're just going to get right to it. I lied to you guys. I actually bought more stuff. I just forgot to grab it, because they are in the tote bags. I made the art for. You might recognize these from the start to finish sketch to watercolor tutorials. They were in my tote bags, which will be in the Natto shop at nattosoup.com/shop. I also bought a couple of hand-painted ornaments. One of them is a Louisiana bonfire. And she had some other things too, like some like textural paintings, but our walls are covered in art. So I don't have room for wall art. We got to get creative up in here. And while I have made a lot of our ornaments, I am definitely down to put someone else's handmade ornament on it. So this is the Lutcher Bonfires. That's like a whole festival that we've been wanting to go to, and we just haven't made it out. I also bought a hand-painted magnolia. This one I might give as a gift. I might keep. I haven't decided yet. This is what I mean though. I painted buku magnolia ornaments last year. I have my own magnolia ornaments. I'm gonna have magnolia ornaments for sale this year, and I still bought a magnolia ornament because she's doing something different than I'm doing, and I think it's really cute. Look how cute this is. It's so cute. And I can respect and appreciate the time, effort, and talent it takes to make things. And I don't want one bad show where it rained on her to discourage her to keep her from doing more of this, because I want there to be more artists in this world. Like y'all haven't figured that out with this channel. That's my insidious goal, is for everybody to be an artist and everybody to support artists. And we also bought, these are so cute, how could I not? We bought from Trini's Sweet Treats a sample bag of macarons. Look how cute they are, they're so tiny. She also had full-size macarons, but these are so cute. I could not resist. And these are, the stutter kicks in. Fruity Pebbles, cake batter, and cookies and cream. Look how cute the teal ones are. They are so stinking cute. And I don't think the ornament lady threw a card in there. So unfortunately, I don't know. We paid in cash too, so it's not like we can check our statement. I don't know who to point you to for those, but they are very, very cute. So I like how, just telegraph it, Becca. Give yourself away, give it all away. All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys about some things. These are important to me. I will probably joke around a little bit, but I'm deadly serious in my intent. I also want to acknowledge at the top, I do buy from Amazon. I do buy from Walmart. I have a Costco membership. I buy from World Market. I buy from Winn-Dixie. I am not perfect. There is no perfect solution. All we can do is our best. People have different budgets. People have different transportation. We drive a little Jetta, you know, like there are limitations with that as well, in terms of like buying like a swing from somebody. We'd like to do that and we just can't transport it. I acknowledge that. Some folks don't have a car at all. I acknowledge that. You can't bring some things on a public bus. Some people don't have public buses. We live in an area that doesn't have a public bus. I acknowledge that. I live in semi-rural Louisiana. So, you know, my opinion, but I've also lived in Georgia. I've also lived in Nashville. So, you know, take my opinions for what they are, but please take them from an artist who desperately loves art, desperately loves folk art. I'm not a fan of fine art kind of gal.
I'm a comics and printmaking kind of gal, and I desperately love people. And I watched Walmart come in, and the town I grew up in has nothing. It's got Walmart. It has nothing else. There was no need to put anything else. They saw no need to put in entertainment for teenagers or kids, because you could just go to Metairie or New Orleans for that. And I hate that line of thought. I think it's stupid. So I am a woman who grew up in the South, who is fiercely passionate about helping other people, fiercely passionate about helping my environment. And I recognize you can only do your best. You can only do with what you got. And I'm also going to lay my bias right out here, that I come from a family that in general would rather buy from Walmart than buy from small businesses. Because it's right there. It's right there and you don't have to think about it. I'm like acknowledging, like, none of us come from a perfect situation. None of us are perfect and in a position to tell other people what to do or how to do it or how to spend their money. I'm not trying to do that. I have bought stuff from AliExpress. I have bought stuff from Amazon. I even have a Temu video. So like, I am not perfect. I am somebody who is trying to do better. Also was talking to Joseph about this earlier, and he was like, why are you acting like buying from small vendors and buying handmade is like a new thing that you're doing? Like, why are you acting like you're suddenly resolved to do this when you've been doing it for 10 years? He's got a point. That you frequently buy. You have no control when it comes to buying. He didn't say this, but it's the truth. I have no control when it comes to buying from other people who are making stuff. That money is gone. I will spend it on them. The impulse control is nil, because I love buying from other artists, especially in person. Because I see a lot of people, and this is going to bring up my first point, I see a lot of people on the internet talking about doing a no-buy and a low-buy year this year as a form of protest. You can do you, but I'm going to lay my cards out on the table. If you're going to do a no-buy or a low-buy, please seriously consider, if you're doing this to make a point and not just to save money, please seriously think about how this is going to impact marginalized artists and creators, including creators of color, LGBTQIA creators, and neurodivergent and chronically ill creators. And like, as a comic artist, that's like that's all of us are in there. All of us are in there. Very few people are not one of those things, okay? So please seriously consider, if you're going to do that to make a point, how that decision might impact makers, crafters, and artists. A lot of us desperately love art. I went into art full-chested since I was 13, okay? But I have ADHD, y'all. I have 2 degrees in art. Like, I chase that. But a lot of people go into art, they love it, but they cannot work a 9-to-5. I, at this point with Shoguns, cannot work a 9-to-5. So art allows them to make things, to connect with people, to communicate with people, to put beauty out into this world. And it allows them to work on their own hours, unless you're a vendor, in which case you work the hours the event tells you to work. But it kind of gives you some flexibility. A lot of stay-at-home moms and dads are makers and crafters for the same kind of reason. They can kind of work around their kids' schedules. So your no-buy or low-buy choice might drastically economically impact, especially if previously you supported a lot of makers, it might drastically economically impact the people who are already being economically punished with this and who need your support and your love a lot right now. And look, if you're broke and you can't afford it, man, you can't afford it. I am not. There are other ways you can support creators other than spending money. You can read their webcomics. You can request their books from libraries. You can recommend their videos and their stuff to other people. Like, there are ways you can help without spending money. But if your point is to not spend money to make a point, do consider that, and please consider spending that money with small businesses instead. If you're not already, I really just want to remind you that now is a good time to support artists. Now is, like, if you've never done it before, now is a great time to do that. The last 10 years have been really rough. I'm speaking from experience. I am speaking with my chest. All my friends are artists. The last 10 years have been really rough for many American artists. And if you enjoy cartoons, comics, illustration, graffiti, photography, plays, skits, printmaking, anything creative, puppetry, now is a great time to support these artists. I am a disabled artist. I have migraines. I've had them my entire life. And I have Sjogren's syndrome. And I am a gig artist and a teacher. I have
never told you guys otherwise. I've always been really honest about it. This means that I personally do not have stable income. I cannot tell you what one month will bring to another. It really depends on what libraries book me. It depends on how I do on YouTube. It depends on how my shop is doing. There are so many variables where I can do my best, but it's really out of my control. I don't have health insurance through my work. Fortunately, I do have health insurance because Joseph works for Vanderbilt as a programmer. But before we got married, I spent 10 years of my life with no health insurance, living in Nashville, which did not have ACA. So I just had no doctor care. So I'm being really honest and real with you guys. I don't have a stable in-person community to lean on down here. I have been trying, but I still don't have that. I teach with libraries. I sell at festivals and craft fairs. I sell online. That's the meat. That's the money of my job. That and like YouTube AdSense. I don't have any sponsorships. I also make comic books. I have dedicated years of my life to sharing art education on the internet. And while I firmly do believe in that goal, like I am passionate, I know I'm not making any money and I'm still gonna do it. I firmly believe in that goal. And I believe that art education should be accessible and archivable so that people can go back and reference it. It doesn't pay the bills. Now is a good time to support living artists who make the things you enjoy, especially if you enjoy those things for free. And I realize like I might be coming across as aggressive. I've been told I'm very intense. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at y'all. I'm not mad at anybody. I just am really, really passionate about this and I believe it full chested. And I also think that the internet creates a persona that is not the reality. And it's very easy to just believe in that persona and not look at anything that might point to the otherwise. So that's why I try to be really honest with you guys. Yes, my spouse has a job that pays the bills for both of us. I am extremely privileged. I acknowledge that. I try to work that privilege back into my work with the YouTube videos I create, with the rates that I charge for teaching are very affordable, with passing materials back along, with sharing information as much as I can. But it would be a lie to pretend otherwise. Are we going to be fine in the next 4 years? I can't answer the future. He says we will be. I don't know. But I don't want to like pretend like we're in dire straits and manipulate you guys. We're from Louisiana. We have survived hurricanes. We have survived poverty. We have survived worse. We will survive. But there are artists who maybe won't. Please do consider supporting them and just being gentle and kind and loving to them too. I mean, don't not support me. I work hard, but like also please do support them. This isn't meant to guilt trip anybody. If you're totally broke, I get it. But if you're going to be shopping for winter holidays like Christmas or Hanukkah, supporting small handmade businesses would really go a long way to helping us continue into 2025. If you can't imagine a life without your favorite distractions, your favorite webtoon, indie game, indie music, or TikToker, all your favorite streamers, your favorite LPers, all those people who keep you company when you're having a bad day, who make you laugh when you're depressed, who help distract you from the stuff you're going through, please support the work that they do. Even a tiny bit every month helps a lot. And it feels kind of gross doing, like, people make jokes about the, like, please support my Patreon, please hit like and subscribe. Like, big YouTubers joke about that, like, oh, it's gross, you shouldn't have to do that. But like, look, that's where we're at. That's why, like, I realize some of you guys, this is your first video, or like one of my marker reviews was your first video, and it might be your last video, and I have to lay my cards out on the table every time. And I don't I love the work that I make, and I love sharing it with you guys, and I love showing it to you guys, but I don't love the amount of promotion and the amount of pushing it takes to get people to look at it. It takes like 7 times to get people to buy. So it's not like my favorite thing, but it is a thing that I have to do in order to continue working as an artist. So it is a thing that I am willing to do in order to continue to work as an artist. You are going to see so many commission artists bringing up how they need to sell commissions and how tight things are. You are going to see people doing emergency commissions to raise vet bills and to pay for medical bills and to cover their medications, which might not be covered anymore, or to cover surgeries, which might not be covered anymore. Like, if that annoys you and that bothers you, I mean, that's part of being an artist and that's part of life. You can mute them if you want, but you should understand none of us are doing it because we just love doing it. Like, we're making art because we love doing it, but we're not begging because we love to beg, and we're not grifters. It is expensive out here.
And when I didn't have health insurance, it was even more expensive. So I can relate with that. Also, some of us are like taking care of our families. So even if we financially are fine, any little change in the atmosphere might mean we can no longer support our families. So some of us, it's not just us, we're taking care of our families too. So this isn't meant to bully anybody. I'm just being real with you guys. I wanted to get you guys excited about supporting local and supporting handmade and supporting small business and show you guys all the cool things that you can get and you can find all kinds of things. If you're shopping handmade, is really so cool, and it gets me super jazzed. But I also wanted to tell you, this is a real person that you're supporting. This is a real human with kids or with pets or with parents or with a disability, and you are helping them continue to live, and you are giving dignity to their lives by supporting and encouraging what they do. And that is meaningful, and that helps people like me turn around and make videos that are kind and educational and encouraging to other people. So it isn't just about you spent money and you got a comic, which is awesome in and of itself. It is you spent money and you made my day, and I'm going to turn around and make 100 other people's days. I'm going to turn around and teach a baller class to Girl Scouts on how to make a mini comic and get them super jazzed up and have them feel empowered that they could use their voices and that they can make beautiful things. So when you're supporting small artists, you're not just buying that thing. You're not just spend money, accrue object. You are literally helping to power the world that we live in and to help make it a better place. And I really believe that full chest from the very bottom of my heart. And art is for everybody. And I try to make art accessible for as many people, whether you're just living with a smartphone, whether you're using the library's computer, whether your mom is dropping you off at the library and you can take classes with me because I provide the materials. I want art to be for everyone because art is a voice for the people. And it has been. And when they start trying to take away art and when they start making it so that artists cannot live, it's bad news, y'all. I'm just gonna be real, bad news. Look at history. When artists can't make art, it's bad times. So if you are serious about supporting American small business, here are some things that you can do. And it's a variety of things, and I think they're all pretty practical. You can shop at your local farmer's market. The two local to mine, even though individual vendors might not take card, they actually run your card at the front and you can buy chips with it and turn that in. So you can still use card, you just have to check in with them first. And that's if you don't carry cash. You can shop at local craft fairs because basically everybody takes Venmo or card even if you don't have cash. You can shop at local plant nurseries and go to plant and garden shows because a lot of that are people who are doing a backyard. They've hyper focused on one plant and they're going to grow the heck out of that. And they're bringing them in to sell those plants. It's really cool. It's very small business. It's very indie. I love it. And you get all kinds of people who get into gardening. I wish I was better at it. I kill a lot of what I plant, but I still love drawing plants and painting plants and supporting plants and talking about plants and going to plant shows. And that is a great way to support marginalized and small businesses. Try going to local festivals and support the craftspeople there. Read living American authors. Request local author books from your public library. That doesn't cost you anything. Authors get paid when the books get bought, so it's win-win. You get to read books, more people get to read books. The books are now accessible. People get to read local books, and you're helping out somebody else, and you didn't have to spend a dime. That is a huge help. I cannot underscore enough of what a help that is. Leave reviews on local writers' books, including the books that you have checked out of the library. I need to get better about that. The ADHD just not, I read a lot and then I don't think to leave a review, but it is sincerely so helpful. Humans look at what other humans like and are buying to make that decision for themselves. Your reviews are tremendously helpful. Hit up the local artist alley at your local anime con. I know that can be hit or miss. A lot of anime cons attract vendors, artists from all over the country. You may have different feelings about fan art, but that is a way that you can buy from small business. A lot of those people are supporting their partners, supporting their families with that money. I'm talking about not just their kids, but their parents too. So that can be a really good way to help support somebody. And a lot of folks from marginalized groups go into the art, they work the artist alley. That is a great way to directly support somebody's dream. Go to local comic cons, same sort of thing. I'm not talking the Wizard World cons or the real huge cons. Those are fine, but those are more about celebrity. I'm talking about A2CAF. I'm talking about TCAF. I'm talking about your local libraries, Comic Con. Phenomenal ways to help local businesses and just local creators too. because you'll get a mix of both. Local businesses will sometimes take out a booth or sponsor, and local creators, that is our opportunity to go and sell our stuff in person. Pay your friends who sew, bake, or craft for you. I know they're gonna say, no, you don't need to. Take them out for a coffee. Make something for them in return. Replace the materials that your thing consumed on the down low. Pay for their dinner. Like, there's ways that you can kind of help offset those costs, because making things does cost. Go to the Ren Fair and support ceramic artists, leather workers, glass blowers, and other artisans. I'm not talking about the places where it's obvious it's from Amazon. We know about that too. I'm talking about the people who make this stuff and can answer your questions, and it smells like leather when you go in there. Support those people. They are DIYing, they are making this stuff, and a lot of them have spent decades of their life learning how to do this craft. So yes, their things may be expensive. I have no problems dropping 100, 120 bucks on a leather corset, because I know that person knows how to work with leather, and I know it's going to stand the test of time. And I wear the heck, y'all have seen me wear that blue corset. I wear the heck out of that thing. Actually, I don't know if it would be considered stays. It doesn't have any boning. I'm just going to call it a corset because that's what the internet calls them. They're kind of like a weird fantasy sort of thing that people probably didn't really wear. Anyway, that's a great way to support local creators, craftspeople, and artists as well. And we touched on this before about not waiting till the con or the Ren Fair to buy from your favorite artist, not waiting till you see each other in person to buy from your favorite artist. It is more than okay to buy from American crafters and artists through our online shops. That money still goes towards buying groceries, taking mom out to lunch, paying the vet bills, all of those kind of emergency things. Buying from us online is still extremely helpful. I have heard so many well-meaning, sweet, sweet, sweet people, I don't mean to dunk on you, say, oh, Becca, you know, I'd love to buy from you, but I'm gonna wait till I see you in person. I appreciate that. You can do both. Both is good. Both is an option, but like, we may never see each other in person. Also, if you are buying online, that is something that can happen year-round. I don't have to travel to a show to do it. I don't have to pay for a hotel room. I don't have to pay for the vendor space. I don't have to truck all my stuff there. I can actually spend more time putting your package together, throwing in some freebies, making it feel really special, dedicating your book, maybe throwing in a free sketch. When you buy online from me, it really means the world to me, and I appreciate it so much. And when you buy from me at a con, it also really means a lot to me, and I appreciate it so much. But let's be real. I live in Louisiana. Are you gonna come down for the Terrebonne Parish Comic Con? Let's be real. And I don't know when the next time I'm gonna sell out of state is gonna be, because it's getting expensive, and I got pets that I can't leave alone. So if there is an artist you like, please consider buying from their online shop. And you know, my final point, I see a lot of people talk about how like, oh, I definitely support small artists. I buy on Etsy. And it's true. I'm not gonna dunk on that. I get the appeal of Etsy. I have had an Etsy. I use Etsy. I get it. Like, you can fill a basket from 20 different stores and then check it out all at one time, and it's very convenient. And they do offer some protections. I get that. But Etsy is an incredibly difficult marketplace to compete on as a small maker. And not just because you're competing against other small makers, which is rad, because you're competing against people who are drop shipping products that they aren't even making. It's just getting sent directly from the factory. They barely had a hand in it, if they had a hand in it at all. And I don't think that's a fair competition. So I don't bring my business to Etsy as a maker. I have my own store, Joseph. For better or for worse, sometimes the shop has problems, sometimes not. Joseph programmed that for me, you know, helping me out, small business to small business. And it's at natasoup.com/shop. And I would really appreciate it if you would take the time to check it out. I take PayPal, I take credit cards like a normal person, like a normal Etsy. I don't have to pay the Etsy shop fees because they do charge shop fees. I don't have to. Etsy really wants creators to do overnight shipping. If I'm dedicating a book to you and if I'm putting together a little goodie package of freebies, it's going to take a few days for me to do that. If I'm sketching something in your book, it's going to take a little bit of time. So I like being able to move at my own pace. So I have my own shop. But that means I have to drive all of the traffic to it, which is why you guys hear me mention it a lot. So it would really mean a lot to me if you checked out my shop and if you considered buying from artists who have their own shops that are not on Etsy. Not everybody's on Etsy. I know it is very convenient to be on Etsy, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting back onto Etsy to sell on Etsy. How many times am I going to say that word? When I wanted to in 2017, but it is what it is, and that is life. So it would mean a lot to me if you checked it out. I have a lot of really cute things in the shop, and frankly, if there is some type of item that you want to see that I don't carry, please keep in mind that it is hard for me to try out new products and new stock if I don't know I have an audience committed to that item. And I tend to base what I make based off of what sells and what people respond to and what I see people actually buying when I go to shows. So if you are super passionate about me starting to offer t-shirts, buy my tote bags and maybe we can move into t-shirts, that sort of thing. Anyway, thank you guys for spending so much time with me. I know I get complaints that my videos are too long. I know they're kind of long and I'm always like, I want to make them shorter. And then I talk a lot. I know. I miss hanging out with you guys. I miss our live streams. My health does not allow me to do live streams the way I used to because the energy is just not there. I know that sounds wild, but I got to cherry pick when I did this video. And with a live stream, you have to schedule it in advance, promote it, get people to go to it, fix all these tech problems live. It's a lot, but I miss you guys. I really like getting to hang out with you guys. Let's have each other's backs. Let's look out for each other. Let's support each other. Let's cheer each other on. If you are a fellow maker, small business, artist, craftsperson, please leave your links down in the comment section below. I will check them out. I still have Christmas shopping to do. I'm sure other people will check them out. Do me a favor, please, even if you are not planning on spending any money, at least go visit my shop, nattasoup.com/shop. Just check out what I got, browse, peruse, and hopefully I'll see you guys again really soon. I believe I have blog posts and videos where I talk about ways that you can help artists without spending your money, like requesting things through libraries, recommending videos, that sort of thing. I'll try to remember to link that down in the description, and I will link as many of the vendors that I visited as I can find their cards for in the description as well, so please check that out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope y'all left feeling inspired, but also I hope that you left feeling a different kind of inspired, not just artistically inspired, but like inflamed, empowered. That's the word I was looking for. I hope you leave feeling empowered because we have to have each other's backs. We have to look out for each other, and we have to care about each other more in this day of the internet and in this day of mega businesses. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye guys!